Alright, David Harry here, and in this video I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the RODE VideoMic NTG and also running through the functions of it and showing what all the buttons are for. Now, two quick things here. First thing is, this will be an unboxing only, so no testing of the microphone, because I have got planned a whole bunch of videos all about testing the microphone. And the second thing, and most important thing from my point of view, is a massive thank you to Damien and RODE for sending me this microphone through. And also as well, I have to make the point clear here that RODE have been fantastic for supporting such a small YouTuber like myself. So once again, thank you very much to Damien and RODE. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here is to just do a bunch of close-ups of the outside box and the inside box. So I'll kind of do a little montagey piece with this, and you can kind of pause if you want and kind of look at any of the details on the inside and the outside box. So after having a quick look there through the outside box and the inside box and the information on them, what I'm going to do now is just go through all of the individual parts that come inside the package, and I'll leave the microphone till last. But as we can see here, this is everything that comes in the box. So the first thing out here is the quick start guide, and this is going to be really good just to get you into the basics of the mic and get you up and running really quickly. The next thing is this USB-C cable. Now, this has two basic functions, the first of which is to connect the VideoMic NTG to a USB power supply for charging the internal battery on the microphone. Then also, the second function for this cable is to connect the microphone to a computer. And here is the foam filter for the VideoMic NTG. Now, this is going to do two things. One, when you're outdoors, this will really help to reduce very minor breezes, but it will also be really good as well for when you're close miking dialogue with the microphone to help reduce plosives. Now, this is a very interesting audio cable that comes with the VideoMic NTG, and as you can see here on either end, it has got 3.5mm 4-pole jacks. Now, you would usually maybe associate this with TRRS devices such as like smartphones or other smart devices, but this cable is actually used for TRRS and TRRS wiring. Now, what I'm going to do is explain a bit more about the cable when I show the microphone, because this is all part of the auto sensing system for the microphone. Now, the last thing to look at here before we get to the microphone itself is this really cool mounting system. Now, what it is, this has got right coat lighters on it, one on the front and one on the back, which are going to help for suspension and stuff like that. So it's going to acoustically isolate the microphone. Now, the other thing as well, it's got a really neat cable tidy system here. Again, I'll show that once I kind of put it all together. Then also, it's got a shoe mount underneath here as well, so you can mount it direct to a camera. Then there's also a thread inside there, which will allow you to put this onto the end of a boom, but also you can slide the actual bracket itself front and back here, so that mount can actually be pulled out of the way of the field of view of a camera if the microphone is dipping into it, if you're using a camera with a wide angle lens. And so to the VideoMic NTG itself, and I have to say, as soon as you pick this microphone up, it really does kind of scream quality at you. It's got a nice weight to it, and it is built amazingly well. It's honestly, it is absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is a bunch of close-ups around the microphone and kind of go through what's on it and explain a bit more about it. Now, the first thing to notice physically about the microphone is the interference tube section here at the front, this section with all the holes in, and this is what very specifically gives the microphone its shotgun characteristics and also its supercardioid polar pattern as well. And so to the next point of interest on the microphone, or at least a point of interest for me, is this USB-C socket. So let me just pop in the cable that comes with the microphone, and I will just explain a bit more about this and what it's for. So like I said earlier, primarily this is so that you can charge the internal battery on the microphone. But also, this microphone is effectively a class compliant USB audio device, which basically means you can plug this into a Mac or a PC, and you do not need extra drivers for the microphone to be seen by either of those operating systems on a Mac or a PC. Now also what that then means is that the microphone effectively becomes a sound card with a built-in mic, and then on the other side, where we've got our line output here for plugging the microphone into, say, a camera or a recorder or something like that, that in turn becomes a headphone output or a line output as well, which is absolutely fantastic. It's just amazing. So I'm going to be doing another video with this microphone, using it with OBS Studio, and just use the mic and nothing else as far as getting audio in and monitoring audio. And whilst I'm on the output of the microphone, I'll just go into a little bit more detail about the cable and the relevance of the actual socket here and the way that it's wired. So as we can see, that is a 4-pole cable, or TRRS, tip ring sleeve. Now basically what this means is that this cable can be used to be plugged into a smart device which requires TRRS, or say typically a camcorder or a standard recording device with a 3.5mm jack socket on, which then means that it's just going to become a standard TRS device. Now what happens is, the microphone itself has got auto sensing systems in it. So not only does the microphone power on automatically and power off when you switch off and on the device that it's plugged into, also what it'll do is automatically sense what is at the other end of the cable. So if you plug that into a smart device, what will happen is the microphone will configure itself to send the audio down the cable to the right poles on the end there. And then if you plug it into, say, a TRS device such as a camcorder or a DSLR or anything like that, it'll reconfigure the output to be wired to TRS as well. And so to the buttons on the VideoMic NTG and all the functions that you get via them. Now for this part of the video, I'm going to be assisted by DJI and their Osmo Action. As we can see here, I have the audio cable that comes with the microphone, which is now connecting the microphone to the audio input of the Osmo Action. Now watch this. You can see this little hole here, which is not really doing much at the moment, but when I switch on the Osmo Action, magically the light comes on. So basically, as you can see there, when you power on the device that the microphone is plugged into, it will automatically turn the microphone on. Also when you power off as well, it'll do the same, it'll switch the mic off. And on certain devices as well, if they go into any kind of rest mode or anything, that'll also deactivate the microphone, thereby saving a whole bunch of power over a long period of time. Anyways, now what I'm going to do is try and get into a bit closer here, and let's show you some of the stuff that's going on here. So to the first button at the top here, and we can almost look at this as being tone control. So if you click it once, you get a 75Hz bass shelf. Now what that's going to do is drastically attenuate everything below 75Hz. If I click it again, it will go to 150Hz, once again drastically reducing everything below 150Hz. Now if I click it again, it will switch off. Now if I hold it in for a few seconds, it will then activate the HF boost, which is basically a high frequency boost. Now whilst that is on, if I click it again, we've then got 75Hz bass shelf with a high frequency boost. Click it again, we've got the 150Hz bass shelving with the HF boost, and then if I click it again, back to just the HF. Now if I hold it in, it'll switch it all off. And so to the second button, and on first click we enter the -20 dB pad mode, which basically reduces the overall sensitivity of the microphone by -20 dB, which is going to be very helpful if you're around loud sound sources, because it'll help to stop distortion and clipping. Then if we click it again, we now enter into the safety track mode, and what happens here, the right channel is going to be reduced by -20 dB. So basically what this means, if you go over 0 dB on the left channel and you start entering into distortion and clipping, as long as you don't go above a +20 dB on that, the left channel is going to be -20 dB of whatever the left channel is. So therefore affording you a safety track which you can then dip into in post if you get distortion on the left side. And then if you click again, you get the combination of both the pad and the safety track as well. And then this third light on the end here is actually a peak indicator light. So this will light up indicating if you're peaking, which is going to be a really useful visual aid for the microphone, again to help you avoid distortion. And just to round off this stuff with these buttons and whatnot, what's really cool about this is that you can actually combine all kinds of variations of these buttons and functions, which is absolutely mind-boggling because you've effectively got a ton of tone control and a ton of attenuation control all inside the microphone. Seriously, it is absolutely mind-boggling as to how much you can do inside the microphone to assist you to tailor and to shape your audio before you actually get into post. And so to the last function on the microphone, and another one that is absolutely amazing. On the back here we have got a rotary control, which is effectively a gain and reduction system built into the microphone. So when it's right up here, you can drive the most insensitive of inputs on anything like a DSLR, a camcorder, or any recording device, or you could even probably drive a line level input with that. Now, conversely, if you're going into something that is too sensitive and you've got no control at the other end, you can then reduce the level from the final output of the microphone here, and thereby avoiding clipping and distortion on the recording device that you're going into. Okay, so I've covered all the buttons here. Now let me just give you like one little final look of everything all kind of plugged in, and I will use my DJI Osmo Action to plug it all into. Okay, so to just round off this video, here is one example setup with the RODE VideoMic NTG with my Osmo Action. And as you can see here, this is an amazing little setup. Honestly, I mean, I've already actually been out and done a quick test, and I can tell you right now, this is awesome. And I'm fairly sure that this is going to be amazing in a similar setup with other cameras as well for typical vloggy stuff. Now, that's not to say that this microphone is only designed for vlogging. You will be able to do any type of voice work or dialogue work with this microphone. It is going to be so suited to a million different applications. It's really insane. And like I said earlier on, I will be covering this mic a hell of a lot on my channel and doing a whole bunch of videos, so please call back for that. And if there's been anything in this video as well that I've missed to do with like frequency response and the materials of the microphone and all that kind of thing, or basically anything that I just have generally bypassed, I will have links in the description below where you can go and check out the product page for this microphone on the RODE website. And just one little last thing here as well, check this out. You may think that that microphone will get into the field of view of my Osmo Action, and it probably will do, but if I do this, now it won't. I mean, just simple things like that are just kind of like amazing, really dead useful stuff. Anyways, I'm going to start gushing about this mic if I don't shut up now and get off. So yeah, call back anyway, check out my future stuff with this, and then check out the links in the description below to go and check further information at the RODE website. And one last thing that I'd like to say once again is thank you very much to Damien and RODE, and thank you so much for supporting a small YouTube channel like mine. Okay then, I'm David Harry, I'm out of here now, so thank you very much for watching this video, take care and goodbye now.